please give it up for my lovely friend, Jason Saenz!
Hi everybody. Is everybody doing good? Thanks for having me. This is great. Yeah, I live in LA now, guys, but I lived in New York for 7 years. It's good to be back. Good to be back in New York City. It's really nice. I used to live in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. Yeah, which was very hip according to my rent. Very hip part of town. And I don't have Tourette's either, but I am inappropriate. That's my problem. I wish I had an excuse, but because living in Greenpoint, it's hip. You kind of want to like hit on girls because you live in that neighborhood, and sometimes it works, you know. What you want to say is, hey, back in my neighborhood, they often film shows by HBO. Right? That's what you want to say. What you don't want to say is, hey, why don't we come back to my neighborhood? Sometimes they shoot girls there. Does that sound good? You want to get murdered? New York, baby! Have a story, it'll be fun. Love New York City, but if you couldn't tell by my hair, I do like smoking weed, so I live in California now. Had to go. I like New York. I tried to find good weed in New York City. I couldn't find it. Searched for 7 years, couldn't find it. The only weed I found in New York was called Subway Paranoia Kush. That's what we have. Even if you're not on the subway, you feel like you're on the subway. But I went out to LA and there's so many different types of weed. You know, like all my friends are doctors and they can't wait to tell me about it. And I get out there and, oh, they're not doctors, they just have a card they got at a shoe store. That's basically what it was. But they got so many different types of weed out in LA. They got like this purple weed. If you smoke that, it gives you like a body high. Or we got this yellow weed. If you smoke that, it gives you like a giggly high. Or we got this white weed. If you snort it, it gives you an energy high. So there's a lot of good pot out there. A lot of different types of nose pot out there in California. I miss New York a lot, I really do. But to be honest, it's a trash town. It's a filthy, dirty, disgusting town. It's gross, but we're proud of it, you know? Like our biggest celebrity last year was a rat carrying around a pizza. You know, like, he's one of us. And I go out to LA and it's so clean out there. I'm like, wow, it's so clean. Where do you guys hide all your trash? And then I talked to a few people that live out there. I'm like, oh, you hide all your trash in your heart. Good to know. Those people are awful out there. This joke doesn't work over there. Thank you, New York. I'm just writing all these shows like, New York's gonna love it! LA hates it, but New York. You know what I miss most about New York City is that we have all those free condoms that are always at the bar or at the library or just everywhere. Every time you leave a bar, you see that like bucket of free condoms that's like made out of tears and recycled Metro cards. You know, trying to keep us safe out there. But they're New York City brand condoms. If you look at them, they say New York City right on the wrapper. Which is so New York, right? It's like, hey, New York City brand condoms. When you wear one, you feel like the L train. You'll never come. Am I right? Yeah, baby. Get on that thing. That's stupid. That was dumb. That was really dumb. Jeez. Okay. Well, I'm a half Latino boy. Everybody, half Latino. Thank you. Half Latinos. All right. I'm also white, so it's okay, Midtown. We're cool. We're cool. We're hanging out. We're cool. But I'm never both at the same time. You know, like I'm either white or Latino depending on the situation I'm in. You know, like earlier today, walking around this neighborhood, very white. Very white. You know, I walked up and down, did some window shopping, I bought a cupcake through an ATM, it felt good. It felt good being white in Midtown today. But if any of you guys after the show, maybe smoke a little marijuana with me in the alley, I'll be very Latino. Let's do it. A little fiesta after the show. But if the cops show up, I'm very white again. You understand what's happening? I'm smart about that. Very smart. Me and weed go way back, guys. Way back. In fact, my first ever experience with weed was smelling it around the house when I was a kid. Yeah. And I didn't know what that smell was. All I knew is that my dad would go into the bathroom for 20 minutes and then come out smelling like Cool Dad. You guys know Cool Dad? Way more fun than regular Dad. That's all I knew. Cool Dad, breakfast every meal of the day. Regular Dad, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Regular Dad, he was fine, but he would sleep in on Christmas morning, But Cool Dad would wake me up excited because he legitimately forgot what he rapped the night before. Also, regular Dad wouldn't let me see R-rated movies as a kid, but then Cool Dad snuck me in to see Terminator 2 because he said that shit is definitely going to happen. He thought it was a documentary. Okay, let's move on. I have a teenage little brother and he's a piece of shit. It's just every time I go home, he teases me. He's like, hey Jason, you're a stand-up comedian, but why aren't you famous yet, huh dude? And I'm like, I don't know man, you're a teenager. Why haven't you seen a girl naked yet, huh dude? Yeah, and then he shows me his text messages. He's doing way better than I am, you guys. It's gross. It's really gross. He's killing it, I'm a single guy. It's tough. Tough being single. I'm actually divorced, which is like single premium. You know what I mean? It's like, basically being divorced means you have a letter from the state saying you don't know what women want. There was a judge, I had to have a witness. It was a very official day in my life. I had to have a friend wear a suit and tell the judge, yeah, he is a piece of shit. That was it's a weird one. But it's cool, I like being divorced. I got my own Netflix password now, I'm doing okay, guys. I'm doing fine. But I hate going to a new dentist as a divorced guy, if this makes any sense, guys. Because whenever you go to a new dentist, they always ask you what your marital status is, right? And it's never just single or married, they also throw divorced at the bottom of their paperwork, but why does the dentist need to know that my marriage failed? I've never understood it. I've asked. It's like, is it for insurance? It's like, no, there's no divorce guy's insurance out there. If there were, they'd be like, hey, charge that guy $30 more a month. He's going to kill himself at any moment. Make sure. It's not helping him in the back. My dentist is not going, hey, Jason, I was looking at your x-rays. Looks like you got some holes in your teeth. But I really wanted to talk about that hole in your heart. Oh my God, Jason! Oh no! Oh my God, you know what it is? You don't floss enough, buddy. Alright, that's a stupid dentist joke. Any dentists here in the crowd tonight? I have 10 more dentist jokes, but I'll leave them. Divorced guy, yeah. I wasn't married into the Catholic Church, but I was raised Catholic. Good Catholic boy, raised Catholic. I'm not practicing anymore because I tore my ACL, so I'm on the bench. But I love watching. I love this new Pope, Pope Francis. I'm a big fan. I don't know if you guys are fans of Pope Francis, but I like the guy, and I'm going to tell you why. I think he's great. Like Pope Francis, he says what he wants, he does what he wants. I don't even think he's Catholic, guys. That's what I like about him. He's the first non-Catholic Pope. He's just so cool. He's like, I feel like the Catholic Church has found like a cool Latino guy on the street, and they're like, hey, you want to wear some awesome hats? He's like, I'm in. Let's do it. I love wearing awesome hats. He's also the first Latino Pope we've ever had. That's pretty exciting. Latino Pope, he's so cool about it. He's great. And he's saying amazing things. I mean, you can't argue with this. Last year, he said that dogs can finally go to heaven. Finally, we got dogs going to heaven, which is great. Finally, yes! If this crowd can't get behind dogs going to heaven, I don't know where we're going to go from here. You guys are like, no, fuck those dogs, fuck them. Fucking shit all over the place, go to hell. Sorry, they're going to heaven. Dogs are going to heaven, which makes me just think that like the Pope was watching old cartoons from the 90s, and now is that making that doctrine, you know? He's like, I decree that all good dogs can go to heaven, and all fivals can go west. And for good, the rescuers are going down under this summer. How's that feel? Let's go! Catholic Church 2016. He also said, if you're a good person and you do good things in your life, but you're also an atheist, you can go to heaven too! I knew if we waited long enough, they'd just start letting everybody up into heaven, you know, like, heaven's turning into that college that just lowers their SAT scores every year. Hey man, it's not as popular as it used to be. The Pope said atheists can go to heaven. That's crazy. That's like Kanye West saying, oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, finish your story. Like, that never happens. But we're living in it. It's good. He's way better than the last Pope. Way better than the last Pope. Pope Benedict? Oh. It got so bad that the last Pope quit. Pope Benedict quit being Pope. Wow, that must take a lot of balls to quit a job God gave you. How do you do that? He's like, oh, I know you're the Lord Almighty and everything, but let me tell you, this pedophilia scandal is a little too much for my moral compass, and I was raised a Nazi. So, good luck. Or whatever you got going over there. But it's cool, we got Latino Pope, Pope Francis, he's back, he's letting dogs into heaven, atheists into heaven, one day gays, we'll see. See how dogs do first. That's how the Catholic mind thinks. We're like, dogs, okay, squirrels, alright, other humans, wait, alright, we'll think about it, other humans. He's awesome, man. And of course, the Catholic Church was upset when he said these things. He's like, hey, how can you let all these people into heaven? He's like, hey, what's the big deal? It's heaven. There's plenty of room up in heaven. I'm Latino. I'm used to fitting 15 brothers in a Corolla. Let's go! Latino Pope! Dudes, I'm excited about Latino Pope. What's next? You know, the communion wine's gonna have pieces of fruit floating in it. Latino Pope! Yeah! I'm excited about the hard and soft shell communion wafers. Who's with me, alright? We're coming to get Christ. Fiestas on Sunday. Let's do it. When he breaks bread, candy falls out of it. Do you see what I'm doing here, guys? Are you guys on board? Alright, okay. Some of you guys are not laughing, I get it. You're probably thinking, Jason, this is just another example of a Latino Pope taking a white Pope's job. I get that. I do. But he's a good Pope, he's a good man. He'll wash your feet, but then he'll wash your car, Latino Pope! Good Catholic man, that Latino Pope. He says the rosary every day. But that's easy for him, it's tattooed on his chest, Latino Pope. Alright, uno mas, and we get out of here, Chaz. Latino Pope, big soccer fan, right guys? Yeah, big soccer fan. And you can tell because now he ends Mass in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost! That was Latino Pope, and I'm Jason Saenz. Thanks a lot, everybody!